Welcome to RIP. Welcome to RIP Jordan Jensen. We're in my house. I own a house, bitch. I'm going to speak in a Scottish accent in order to say how I really feel about things. Harry's here. He's the producer. He's moving a chair quite slowly so he can have a seat. He's my best friend. He knows too much. We just had my birthday party, which I didn't expect to be a birthday party. Thought it was going to be housewarming, but it ended up being my birthday party, which was quite overwhelming. But it was quite fun. We played lots of games. My dog's throwing small sticks about. I'm going to go back to doing my normal voice. What I wanted to talk about in this solo pod, I keep missing weeks. I know that. It's not that I'm missing weeks. It's just that I don't want to be bound to doing weekly because then they get shitty. If you do one every week, you resent it. You hate it. Oh, you saw that? My dog doing ollies over here with a stick. And, but I want to do a solo pod because I hit you with that big boy with all my family, which was crazy. I am home. My family's overwhelming me a lot. Not my family. Being in where I'm from is weird because you pass by things and you're like, raped there. I was raped there. That's where I hate Mistered for hugs. I didn't ask for hugs, but when you ask for beer, they go, sure, little girl, I'll do it for a hug. And then you have to hug a fat man. But I'm trying to reconcile, because I feel like I've moved my whole life to escape the memories. And now I bought a house here, so I'm kind of being like, having to sit in them a bit, which is cool, but it also means not despising my former self. Also, like, not doing drugs here is crazy. Not getting fucked up here is nuts. Coyote, leave it. But yeah, that's where I am. That's setting. We've set the setting. The theme I have today was that I wrote down that I wanted to talk about was waves of things. So I recorded a special, and I would, everything like leading up to it, I would just have this awful anxiety constantly that I was going to like bite somebody, or that I was going to get on stage and all of a sudden just like grab a stool and whip it into the audience and behead a woman or something, or like just do something where everybody'd be like, what? She put so much money into this. We put all of our resources, all of our time, and all she wants to do is just lay down flat on her forehead while she slowly drools. So I was really worried I was going to do something weird or freaky. And then I talked to like a million other people about it. Like I talked to a bunch of other comics who have recorded stuff, and I was like, do you guys, were you nervous about your special? And they were like, 100%, nervous makes sense. And then I'd be like, oh, okay, great. So were you nervous that you'd like do something weird, like not say any words or bite people or all of a sudden just like sabotage it? And they were like, no, absolutely not. I was just worried that I'd like fumble a line. And I was like, well, what if I don't say a line? What if I just end up, I don't know, biting through my arm in front of everybody and then spitting a chunk of my own arm meat out into the audience and being dragged away on a tourniquet or whatever they're called. What are they called? Gurney. And everybody was like, no, I have no idea what you're saying, and you should be really, really, really scared of yourself. They didn't say that, but by saying they have no idea what I'm talking about, I took that to mean that it's really scary. Then I got up on stage and tried to explain that feeling, because I told it to my therapist and he was laughing. So I was like, maybe if I say it on stage, I'll feel better. I said it on stage, not one laugh. In fact, it really frightened people. So that really frightened me. But I didn't have any of those compulsions while I was on stage to do that, which was interesting because that was a big thing I was worried about. And what I realized is that phase of insecurity, you must relax. That phase of insecurity is like just something that I go through every couple of years. And it's this like overwhelming wave of like, I shouldn't be around people. I shouldn't be allowed to be in society. Nobody should be like, I shouldn't be legally able to live by myself. I should be strapped to something. And then there's also this really scary thought that you have, which is like, I don't have a core sense of self. That's like a scary thing that I've read about with people. And every diagnosis you can look up, and there's all these like dissociation of self and shit like that, which I don't fully believe in. I think it's just if you think too hard, eventually you realize that there is no center core, or maybe there is, but we have no access to it. And that was fucking me up for a while. And I think a big part of that is like trying to be in a relationship, and you're like trying to show up for somebody as the same person every day, but you don't know how to be a consistent person, and that's really freaky. So then that translated to comedy, where I was like, well, what if I'm just not the version I was of Jordan yesterday, when I don't even remember the jokes, and I don't know the jokes, and I don't even believe in the jokes or whatever. And it didn't happen. Which then there's a slight disappointment to it. That's the other thing I'm going through right now. I'm realizing there's a slight disappointment to the fact that I'm not going to suddenly morph into an unrecognizable creature. Sometimes that's very comforting. Sometimes it's super comforting to be like, I'm the same person 100% of the time. But then sometimes, like I was just standing outside thinking about this, I was like, it's a little scary that I'm just going to be this person that I've been my whole life for the rest of my life. That's also scary. And I think that that's supposed to be, I think I've spent my whole life being like, don't shift people, don't turn into somebody unrecognizable, be the same person, don't be weird, don't become weird, that now I'm like, oh my God, I just am this person forever, which is tough. Because I don't hate her, but there is no like, there is still at 33 years old, no like full confidence in what I'm saying ever. That's not true. That is a wave that I'm in right now. But then you pull out of the wave, and then you have epic confidence, and then you almost seem manic and sociopathic. So I guess that is what I wanted to say, that it all is in waves. This is just a wave I'm in right now. And it's easy to get, like you just watched me do, wrapped up in it and scared of it and worried that everything is forever. But I think that if doing acid has taught me everything, it's when you're in something, you think it'll be forever, and it won't be forever. So yeah, that is like the current thing that I'm obsessed with right now, is this idea that there's some illusion of life that makes you think that you're going to forever be where you're at mentally. I don't know what that is. I don't know why that is. I know that it's extreme in acid. I know when you take acid, you're like, I'm stuck like this for the rest of my life. I know I have it really bad, where I go, nothing is ever going to shift over and feel good again. I'm going to stay bad forever. I am curious why that is at all necessary. I think it's because it's a force that you can't, it's beyond your control. Coyote, go get a real toy and I'll throw it for you, but I'm not going to throw the wood chip. She immediately fetches the wood chip. I'm not throwing that wood chip. Anyway, yeah, so that's what I'm dealing with right now. It is very difficult. I do feel a lot of insecurity at the moment. I think it's because I don't have any material, because I've just burned it all. So I can dredge up old stuff, or I can write quick new stuff that's like, or I can take time off and sit in it and grow thoughts, which seems to be not an option for me, because taking time off is physically impossible. So I'm definitely in a moment of insecurity, where I think that everything I do is bad. But that also will pass. And then next thing I'll know, my friends will be like, you're sociopathic. So it's a wave that I'm in, and it's impacting a lot of things. It's making me shut down, like I'm not communicating with anybody, I'm just going dark, which is awesome, but it is pissing people off a lot. I do think a big part of it is the obsessiveness. Like as soon as I'm in a moment, I have to obsess about something, so I obsess about the moment and how I'm feeling in it, and it's not right, and then I get the metabolic rate in my head spinning out of control, because I need this moment to be right, and it's not right, and I'm not doing it right, and I don't know what to do, and I'm supposed to make a decision, I don't know where to put my body, and there's no autopilot right now. That's what it is. Sometimes there's a sick-ass autopilot, and I really love Autopilot Jordan. She's the best, and it does help when there's a lot of shit going on and there's zero downtime, but right now I'm just like at the controls and there's way too many buttons, so I'm just kind of like frantically hitting all of them. When I know in reality the right button to hit is just like the shutdown button and be calm and still. But I feel like I owe everybody a lot of time, and I feel like I have to be, I feel like I can't fully like hide, which is what I need to do right now. Because yeah, I've blasted out all of my serotonin by doing the special, editing the special, getting up every weekend, touring, running it, and now I need to retreat. And I can't, because I didn't carve that out. So yeah. It's the other thing is when I'm alone and organizing my thoughts and feel like I am taking the time that I need, it doesn't change the fact, like there is no like I saw an Onion article from a long time ago that was like, man takes off a week in order to fix his entire life in a week vacation, and it goes horribly awry, or some article like that. And that is how it is. Like I'll be like, I'm just gonna retreat, I'm gonna figure it out, and that's not how it is done. What I'll do is I'll just like come up with some big idea of how to fix everything, and then that'll crumble again, and I'll start a new thing, and it'll cycle forever. And I have to develop a level of acceptance of the waves, that this is a wave that I'm in, where everything's quaky, and there's no like solid ground right now, and that's okay. And at some point it'll come back again, and then that'll be boring, and I'll want the magma. But yeah, that's what I'm at right now. I'm waiting impatiently for the mania to kick in and the depression to come, for the depression to subside. The problem with if you're bipolar, the mania is, it's literally like people are like, it's so problematic because you make all these big mistakes. I don't have that type of bipolar. I don't have the bipolar where I like I'll get a tattoo maybe, but I don't like all of a sudden start thinking like billboards and signposts are talking to me, my friends. Like my mania is just like high everything. It's like Molly. It's like being on Molly. And then I just have to wait my time out until I can do my Molly dose again. Come on. I got nothing for you. So yeah, I'm waiting for that to happen. And then the depression, which I'm in right now, is like slow, you're sleepy, everything feels like it's for naught. You know what the worst part about depression is? The irritability. Like human beings have become like airports and talking to people at coffee shops. If they take a second too long, I want them dead immediately. Like when I'm manic, I'm like, oh, I had another conversation with a grocery clerk today and we bonded because both of our names started with J. When I'm depressed, it's like, how dare you ever think that this was, like even at my birthday party, if somebody talked to me for a second too long, I was like, how could you dare think that I would be interested in talking about this? Which is crazy. They're my friends and people I love. And I think that's the worst part of depression, because the sleepiness you can just sleep through. The TV is like an incredible escape, but the irritability, the like sheer disgust at the human condition and how we always have to blab our mouth skin and push air out of it and make words that mean nothing and go nowhere. That's what happens when you're depressed. You hate that. It's like when you do cocaine. Literally, life is like cocaine. You do the cocaine, and you're like, oh my God, this person I'm talking to all of a sudden is so interesting. We're gonna start a business together. I'm so excited. Life is an enterprise. It's a traversing of a world that we can do together as a community. And then the cocaine wears off, and you're like, if I don't get high again, I will kill this person who's looking at me right now. And then you get another bump, and you're like, and we are just both gonna start a 401k. So yeah, right now I'm in the dip, and you want to come up. And you keep doing things to try and make you come eat cake, eat ice cream. You do a lot of things in order to try and bring yourself up, but you don't. But you just have to wait it out, which is good that I'm realizing this, is that it is a wave. And the other thing about the recognizing the wave is it makes you realize that the more that you resist the wave, the more that you have a, what is it? Like a It's like you feel insecure about the wave that you're in. Like if you try and pretend you're not in the wave that you're in, everybody seems like they're against you. All of a sudden you're like, people are trying to get me to be somebody I'm not. I can't meet their expectations. But if you're like, yeah, I'm in this wave, it's brutal. Like when somebody goes through a breakup, they're just in a bad wave and everybody loves them for it. You love a person who just went through a breakup. It's the best. They're miserable. You guys are all of a sudden friends again. You're catching up on things. They're telling you how bad life is. You're telling them how bad your life is. When somebody gets in a new relationship, they're like the most insufferable human being. You don't want to talk to them about their new love and all of a sudden how spring is their favorite season or whatever the fuck. But so the depression is good if I'm able to be like, yeah, I'm really depressed right now and I can talk about that. Come on. Oh, she's chibi. Don't eat those flowers. Coyote just wants to play all day when we're here. Coyote's lost a lot of weight since we come out to the country because she gets depressed in New York. So do I. I think that's the other thing. I have a house. I have a Netflix special coming out. Those are like the two things I've wanted. So now what? I can just die? What's next? Death? That's what it is. There's also a big dip from that where I'm like, now I need a new thing immediately on the horizon. But if I was at any other point, I would try to manufacture one. And I just don't really want to do that this time because I've realized so much has come out of the depression zones that if I try and expedite through them and just try and be like manufacture mania by putting too much on my plate, I miss out on all of the like thoughts and sadness and like the depth that happens when you're in the depression that isn't there when you're manic. When you're manic, you're like a gigapet, you know what I mean? And then, but when you're like this, it really is like, it's constantly contemplative. So yeah, I'm trying not to bum rush through it. I think that's something that happens once you get 30. I mean, I just turned 34. You're like, everything feels like when you're in high school, you're trying to get into your 20s, and then when you're in 20s, you're trying to get people to take you seriously and get to a point where you can like find somebody to love and get married. And then when you're in your 30s, you see people get married, and you're like, oh, they're just the same exact person as me. And then you start to be like, I better slow this shit way down, which is what I would like to do. It is hard because my lifestyle is completely insane in the city. But yeah, also trying to be in a relationship is incredibly difficult for me because when I'm manic, I feel like they can't meet me where I'm at, where I'm like, you just don't want to play, you don't want to fuck around, you don't want to do all these things. And then when I'm depressed, I'm like, I can't provide anything. So that's been a hard thing, just taking somebody at their word when they say that they want me in their life, because it's very hard for me to believe. So I just have to be like, all right, well, for that, good on you. But yeah, I'm stoked to be manic again. Summer is here. More sun, more light, more time to do things that make summer so special. And the number one thing you don't want to be doing all summer? Spending hours cooking inside. That's where Factor Meals comes in. Factor's chef-created, dietitian-approved meals are ready in just 2 minutes. Takes the hassle out of eating well. Factor meals arrive fresh and ready to eat, perfect for any active lifestyle over summer and beyond. With 45 weekly menu options, you can pick up gourmet meals that fit your summer gains and goals, or for some of us, losses. Because I'm fat, see? Choose from options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, Keto, and more. Factor powers your day sun up to sundown with nutritious break fasts and on-the-go lunches, premium dinners, and guilt-free snacks and desserts. Factor has your whole day covered. One could say, hey, make sure you're a Factor. Enjoy more this summer. Get Factor if you want all the flavor and none of the fuss. I have Factor in my fridge. I eat it. I like it. They got good rice. They got good sweet potatoes. They got good chicken. All three of them together in one freaking tray counts up the macros for you. Tells you how many calories you're eating. Oh, my mom's calling. Can't pick that up. She would love Factor. I should get her Factor because she don't know how to cook. She used her damn stove to hide her sweaters. Get started at factormeals.com/RIPJordan50 off and use code RIPJordan50 off to get 50% off free shipping on your first box. That's RIPJordan50 off, 50, at factormeals.com/RIPJordan50 off for 50% off free shipping. factormeals.com/ripjordan, 50 off. If you need some sweet, sweet nicotine relief after a long morning at work, Lucy is your one-stop shop. Lucy breakers are nicotine pouches with a surprise inside. Each pouch has a capsule that's broken to release extra flavor and hydration. Not sure how. With flavors like apple ice, that's what I got in right now. Mango, that's my favorite. Mint, and even espresso. I would like you to send me espresso. That is my favorite flavor, but it didn't come in the quality pack. Yo, I've been sucking down these lucers. They come a little damp. I like that. But sometimes you get the damp ones and they sting. These don't sting. They're soft. They're cushiony. And I love them. Lucy breakers come in 4 milligram and 8 milligram options. I love a 4. 3 for Zins. It's what I do, but it's a little too low sometimes. I don't think I'm allowed to say Zins, but it can be low, and I like that. But sometimes you need a 4, because sometimes you skip to 6. You go, whoa! Now I'm about to puke in this Uber. You do a 4, it's right. It hits the sweet spot. Verbatim. Let's level your nicotine routine with Lucy. Go to lucy.co/RIP and use promo code RIP to get 50% off your first order. Lucy has a 30-day refund policy if you change your mind. Again, that's lucy.co/RIP and use code RIP to get 20% off. And here comes the fine print. Lucy products are only for adults of legal age, and every order is age verified. This product contains nicotine, and nicotine is an addictive chemical. In my opinion, the most addictive chemical. If you're not already zinning and smoking and zipping and zooting, don't do this. But if you're trying to get off the Juul, for example, I had to get off the Juul because you can't sleep with these in because I have paranoia that I'm going to choke on them. The Juuls I had all the way up until sleepy time. I was snuggling with it. I was kissing it goodnight. I was waking up in the morning, panicked that it had left me for another woman. So, get Lucy. What else should I talk about, Harry?
We've been doing the podcast for a year.
We've been doing the podcast for a year. You guys have really good feedback when I see you. You all really like it. Somebody made like the video about it and said that it was like, they were like, it's not a comedy podcast, but it's like a psychological podcast, which is making me very happy. Sorry, I touched the microphone. I'm really stoked about it. I think it's cool. I mean, there's just like, there's something about watching like somebody who's so, like whenever I see Theo Vaughn do like one of his sad things where he all of a sudden starts like breaking down talking about something, I love it so much because it is such there is like a depressing idea about somebody just constantly trying to make people laugh all the time and never sinking into the weird zone. So I am glad that this can be here for that. I did feel like there was like a 2-dimensional world of comedy podcasts that was becoming a little scary, where everything was like really funny, great, but really like, how do I say it? Really like, either they were going like, we're talking about the real things, we're talking about politics, we're getting into the nitty gritty of what's going on in the woke world, or it was fart jokes, which I love fart jokes, but I am really happy that this is a place where it is just pure, what is it? Perseveration. Perseveration? Perseverating? Pondering?
Pontificating?
Pontificating. No. Pontificating is like, I believe.
Yeah. What are you trying to say?
Like quarry. A stone quarry.
Inquiry?
Inquiry.
Yeah.
So that's good. I mean, I'm glad you guys like it. I do worry that it's a little...
What?
Navel-gazy? You know what I mean?
I don't think so. This? Your solo episodes?
Yeah. They like them, though,
No,
for some
these are
reason.
the ones people like the most.
Why?
Because you're articulating things that other people haven't figured out a way to, that are relatable.
What else should I articulate? So sick of the ADHD shit
Yeah.
of people talking about.
I know, but when you talk about it, or when you talk about really specific things about your experience.
But somebody the other day in the audience was like, I was like talking about how when I'm in a relationship, I just break up constantly. Like I'm like, I obsess about one thing they say, and I'm like, it has to end because I can't get past this one thing that you said. And somebody yelled out, "That's ADHD." And I was like, how the fuck is that ADHD? Because I'm distracted. ADHD is when I put a sock and a shoe on with the other ones bare. ADHD is like, she was like, you can't think straight, which that makes sense a little bit. But if anything, it's way more OCD.
Yeah, but someone shouting out at you from an audience is the equivalent of someone commenting on a YouTube video.
She was a lesbian, so I really trusted her.
You don't have to look into what she's saying.
Is she going Zen doggy?
Yeah.
Oh, she's Chinese?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's a sensei.
I wish she'd put her ears down.
She has to be alert. She has to protect and serve. She's a cop. Yeah, the ADHD thing is... I mean, the ADHD thing you can see here when it's like I have to... It's crazy how many things I forget constantly. And that is troubling. But the ADHD is like... To be honest, it's a train that I would never want to get off. Like I see my friends getting off of it by taking drugs, and I see the like focus, I see the like this is what has to be done, and I get it. Like I get how that feels good because it's a purpose, but it is so I hate that. I hate that ride. I hate the like when you look back at the day and you realize you like very acutely organize something that is like in the grand scheme of things so ridiculous. Like I much prefer having it be chaos, but at least you're like slamming up against things and running into things. Which when I took Adderall, it just felt like I was like, the day will look like this. It will get, and then I'd run into a person and be like, and be so scared of them because they'd be talking like, and I'd be like, back to my toothpicks, which I don't like. The Adderall is so sick because it makes you forget about food, and also it makes you feel like you're fucking RoboCop for a day. But after a couple days, it starts being like, humans are a different species, and the only thing that makes you feel comfortable is like puzzling or something, which is scary. Oh, I know. But yeah, I also took mushrooms the other day, which I usually love, but I just immediately was like afraid. As soon as they hit, I was like, this is fear. This is pure fear. That's about the waves. You have to take them in the right wave. If you're already if you're already freaked out all the time, you can't fuck around. And I think for the past 5 years, I've been pretty much perpetually freaked out. So I can't dick around with drugs like that.
Yeah, I think you're constantly thinking about things.
Yeah.
So acutely that any form of like stepping back or expanding your perspective is just counterproductive.
Yeah.
Like you're not a candidate to
grow
drug. No, not the like the waves you're talking about. This is not a wave currently the past several years.
Yeah.
Where you need to be having like a spiritual.
But I have to get back there.
Yeah.
It was the pandemic like made my life so good. It ruined everybody else's life, but that time where it was chaos and the world was like all fucked up and nobody knew what they were doing, I was popping mushrooms left and right. It's this world where people are like, Jordan, what are you
better
doing?
Time to start making your way back there than when you've just finished a huge project in
but people line up
in your special, and you've just got this house in the country, and
because the powers that be own my life.
Who? What are they telling you?
The meetings, the gigs, the
just say it. Jews.
I wanted to say it. Yeah, and that is, you have to do that. It's like literally like you like sign your life away a little bit. You don't have to, I have carved out time. But that's a weird thing. That idea of carving out is fucked up. That is fucked up.
But it's incredibly necessary.
It's so... No, I know, but the idea... Like, during the pandemic, it was like, there was no carving. You were just like a free, weird... I mean, at least for me, because I had to quit my job. But the whole idea of being like, I need to alert my people of when the time is where I will have me time.
I think you are putting that on a pedestal. You're making that seem much more complicated than it needs to be.
No, but I'm just saying philosophically, even like you guys having to take time off work. Like Brianna works all day. You normals, yeah. Like she has a job and she'll be like, I have to go into work today. That is crazy to me. That's crazy.
How is it different than you saying I have shows tonight?
It's crazy. It's crazy. I've never done this. I've never had to do anything. I've always had a construction business where I would be like, I'm not going to be there. Or I've manipulated my way out of everything. Every job, even when I worked for Teresa, it'd be like, I can't, I'm sick. It was just like a boss that I would lie to. Now I'm the boss and I have to show up because there is an audience and I must do it. That's what's crazy. You must be there. I can't cancel gigs. You really can't. I mean, I just went through it with no voice. I was Batman.
I know, but there are times...
Did I tell you about the Alec Baldwin thing?
No.
That I went on stage and I was like, I sound like... I sounded like this because that was the only way I could talk. No bark. No bark. Oh, she's being crazy. And although that did scare me when she emerged. I was like, I sound like Alec Baldwin and Batman together. And then I said, this is my impression of if Alec Baldwin were Batman. I don't kill people with guns. Oops. And right after I did that joke, I was like telling somebody about it, looked at my phone, Alec Baldwin had followed me. And I was like, ah!
What?
Yeah, it's fucked up. He heard.
Whoa. Mm-hmm. I saw Stephen Baldwin at the airport the other day.
Yeah, he is a guy who you'd see at the airport.
Yeah.
You'd think a Baldwin would just private jet. I'm so scared of private jets. Like when one of these big headliners is like, take our private jet to the... I'm like, bro, if I'm God and I have to take down one of these planes, I'm not going to take down the commercial jet full of children and paying customers. I'm going to kill the famous man and whoever the fuck is with him. You know what I mean? The turbulence on those things too, and you're just like sitting next to like a fat millionaire and you're like, there's no way we live. I'm a casualty. But yeah, it's all very weird to me. It's all very weird. It's all why I got into philosophy. It's all why I fucking failed every school I've ever been in. Why? Because the idea of having to do things is really impossible. And that is why I was a philosophy major, because I could literally get away with waxing with bullshit for 8 pages, turn it in, and they'd be like, there's actually some good points about free will in here or something.
But how is that? That's what you do now.
I don't. I have to do things.
No, but I'm saying what you just described is not that far from standing in front of an audience.
But I have to fly to places.
I know.
It's great. It's the best life ever. It's the best life ever. I totally get that. But then next thing you know, this is what it looks like. You fly away. You do 8 shows. All day you're in a hotel. To be honest, the hotel is the best because you're isolated. Nobody knows where you are. People can't find you. It's great. You work out. That's good. Then you get back and you have all these podcasts lined up. You have to do it. And if you bail on them, you're a fucking asshole because you're the guest that they booked you on. Sure, you could have said no, but it was weeks ago that you said yes. So now you have to do it. And then...
I know. What I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
You're describing things that you've already booked. There's time in between where you don't have things booked. Or there are times where you can be like, do not book me any shows from here to here.
Yeah.
What's the point of being your own boss?
I guess I've always felt this way. Even when I had a construction job, it was so scary that I had to show up and do something. It's weird to have to do something.
Sure.
I can't even imagine. If I had a baby, it would make so much sense. The baby will die. That's how I feel about the dog. That like clicked for me so well, where it was like, you have an animal you have to tend to or it'll die. That makes
you felt that way about your career as well.
Right, when it was being... Yes, that's true.
And now you're understanding that, like, I can actually...
That's what's fucked up.
What? I can stop for a week and...
Because you realize it's like this. You're like chiseling away. You're being like, I have to do this weird thing. I have to do this punk thing to make this work. I have to make this weird fucked up tour through the South in order to keep doing stand-up. And then you get to this point where they go, don't worry. This is like, I went in. They go, sorry, I'll finish the sentence. They go, don't worry. We'll take care of that stuff for you. You just have to show up. And you're like, no, that is part of it. Like I went into the fucking financial advisor and they were like, she was like, we want you to just keep being your creative self. We'll take care of everything that has to do with money. And I was like, what if that's a part of my plan, is to fuck up with money and to buy weird gold and houses, you know what I mean? And not have a woman with a perfect face being like, we'll take care of it for you so that you don't have to think. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like crazy to me. But yeah, I think that's the part of it, is you have to have confidence enough to take a stronghold over your own fucking trajectory, or else it will be taken for you. I'm not doing self auditions to play some fucking, it's crazy. And then you get these little texts that are like, hey, have you considered this audition for working with?
Yeah. I think you need to get more comfortable with
saying no.
Saying no, but also like looking ahead and being like, okay, for this month or this week here in the calendar in the future, I'm not booking anything.
Saying no makes me feel actually nauseous though, like when people ask me to do things.
You're gonna have to get over that.
Why is that?
Because people don't.
That's some love
don't
addict
care.
shit. They don't
Think
care.
of how many things you get asked to do on a daily basis.
That I just ignore.
Well, that you either ignore, or that when they shake out, whether you say yes or no, people keep asking you to do things. The world will go on.
I just say yes to everything.
Yeah. You were saying no for a minute.
Was I?
Yeah, I remember.
During SLA?
Yeah,
Really?
probably.
Who was I saying no to? Podcasts? People?
Yeah, I feel like you were doing less shows you didn't want to do. Like local.
Yeah, that's when I pivoted and I could, now I say no to every like.
Yeah.
But yes, there is, it's just been the other thing is I have the FOMO where I'm like, what if I don't know? That's the other thing. I can say no. If I don't want to do something, I can say no. Like today when I was like, the movie sucks, let's do it here. That was great, right? But I'm also worried that I'm going to make a mistake in saying no and I'll miss out on the important thing because I said no. I have to just trust myself that...
At this moment, what to you would be the most important thing you could possibly miss out on? Professionally.
Oh, professionally?
Is that what we're talking about?
Just anything. Just
okay.
even
Well,
like...
what's like something huge that you would be gutted to miss out?
Like being forgotten.
That's not missing out on something.
Like if I don't do this, then I'll be forgotten. Like if I don't do that festival, if I don't do that thing.
So there's not like a specific event.
No.
Okay. You're worried that if you stop saying yes.
Like I canceled the gig in July. I was like, I'm gonna have a mental breakdown. I have to take 3 weeks off because everybody was looking at my tour schedule and my friends were like, when does this tour end? And I was like, oh, it's been going on for 10 years. Mm-hmm. And they're like, is there a break at any point? And I was like, no. And then I was like, okay, I have to make a break. And my agents were like, you get 2 weeks. Or we gave you 2 weeks. And I was like, and then everybody was like, 2 weeks is insane. And I was like, okay, I'll get a third week. So I canceled the weekend. And they were like, well, they won't take you back until 2026. And I was like, okay. And they were like, that's a long time from now. And I was like, I don't care. Like it is like that. It is like people looking at me being like,
that's exactly what I'm describing.
Yeah.
You need to just get more comfortable with.
But it feels like I'm in a world of tricksters.
You are.
Oh, yeah.
Showbiz, baby.
I know, but I think people are in general, too. I think it's like there's a whole... I think the whole world is like a insane test.
Yes, when people want things from you. When you're somebody that is in demand, whether it's socially or professionally.
But I think a normal...
hit you up.
But I think a normal love addict... Right? Just take a run-of-the-mill love addict named Barbara in Ohio, okay? A Barbara's watching. Yeah, sorry. That'd be awesome. She was like... She, throughout the day, throughout her life, has gotten so many people so used to the idea that she says yes to everything that now they They come for her for things. And she thinks, she's not in showbiz, she believes that if she says no to one of them, she will lose her standing in the community as Barbara who gives. So it's not just showbiz. It's like once you spend your entire life saying yes to everybody about everything, and now I have money, so now I just be fucking, it's crazy. Like I don't have that much money because of how much I just give away to people. It's insane. And as soon as somebody needs it, I give it to them, which is so tough. And then what's interesting is some people will come in and be like, don't do that. And then they take some. That's crazy. You know what I mean? Like my therapist will be like, you have to stand up for yourself. And I'll be like, I really can't come in today. And he's like, you're coming in. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll be right there. But that...
Barbara.
But Barbara, thank you. Wow, so helpful. But Barbara, that has the same feeling. Barbara has the same feeling that... Or maybe she has kids and she's used to being the parent who gives and gives and gives. And the kid comes up to her and is like, I really want to do this. I really want one of those electronic Jeeps that drives around the backyard. And she's like, I actually know those things are dangerous. And the kid is like, I thought you were Barbara the giver. And now she does it. And now she has one of those disgusting Jeeps that reminds her of being in a trailer park that she grew up in. Whatever.
Yeah.
It's the pressure to, when you're a love addict, it's a constant pressure to...
You're just succumbing to the narrative you make up for yourself.
It's like reflex, though. It's such a reflex.
Yeah.
To say yes.
That's why it takes a 12-step program to unlearn.
Yeah. I gotta go to meetings again. That's what it is. I gotta go to meetings.
There was a notable difference, I think.
When I was doing the program?
Yeah.
It's because you see so many Barbaras. And I don't want to be Barbara.
Yeah.
There was a noticeable difference?
Yeah.
An unwavering? I would love to be unwavering.
Just more... doing more things with your own interest in mind. Like less of the saying yes to everything.
Yeah.
And even if you do say yes, you're like, I know that I can say no.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's probably true, because I haven't been going to meetings.
Yeah.
And I did postpone everything till after the special. Meetings, step work. So I should do that.
Yeah. I think this is a really good time for you to shift things around. I mean, you have to give yourself a little bit of credit for finishing a massive project, even though it's not done, but the performance of it, the lead up and everything it is in other people's hands now.
Yeah.
But
I also have to recognize, to go back to the beginning of this podcast, this is a wave. I will come out of it.
Yeah.
It's so easy to look at things as like, I'm going down she's going down a bad path. But that's not true.
No.
It is a wave.
If you imagine the special as the crest of a wave, and right now you're like sliding down the thing.
Yeah.
I think along with the like stomach dropping feeling, you're kind of like, it's easy to spin out a little bit.
Right, when really it should be like a giant bed of pillows I'm allowed to lay in.
Yeah, put your hands up and, hey, say we.
If you could see Harry's face with this.
Just say we.
Just say we. I know, we were on the plane the other day, me and Jake, and it was turbulence, and I was getting so scared, and he just went like this, whoa! And then I did that, and I felt a lot better.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I need to fucking chill. I don't need to do anything. That's the other thing. I need to stop saying that I need to do things. I'm doing good. I'm doing my best. I feel fucking weird because I'm bridging a weird world between Hick and New York City comedian, and that's okay. That's all right. I'm being honest. I'm trying to do my best.
All these things are why people like you, too. Don't forget that.
Yes.
All the things you're describing are good. Well, maybe they're neither good nor bad. They're just...
Don't you ever look at like something in the future and go, there's no way that's going to happen. Like there's no way I'm actually, like today is Sunday. Wednesday I will be on a 5-hour flight to go do 8 shows in Portland. Like to me right now, here, I'm like, there's no way this Jordan will be in Portland, like preparing to get on stage because of how like in this basin of.
Editor's note, right now, cut to Jordan in Portland for a clip.
It's me just. The show is canceled. But yeah, that feeling is weird. That shifting, like you're gonna have to shift into that. Do you ever have that with like?
I don't think so.
Like if you have a giant art handling gig and you're like, it's gonna take so much work to hang that whole show, and you're like safe at home watching TV. Are you ever like, God, work Harry is gonna have to fucking.
No, it doesn't seem insurmountable. Like at most, I'll just have a little bit of anxiety of like, how the hell are we gonna do that?
Okay.
But no, it's just that's your work.
Yeah.
Your work is so tied up in your everything else.
Yeah.
That you don't really have as many options to like not take that shit home with you.
It just feels like if it were like a drawing, it would be like this big. It'd be like somebody standing on stage and they're like a big butterfly that's like talking on and then like but hidden in the butterfly is like a little maggot that's sleeping, and that's how it feels.
Wait, like the Men in Black guy in the guy's head?
Yeah, but he's controlling it.
Oh.
It literally feels like I'll be riding on the back of a different person who's going to be like...
That gave me shit.
Sorry. Like it feels like this person who's like, fucking Elon Musk doesn't know shit. Well, black people be tripping is going to be so different than this person who feels like a... But maybe she'll show up. You know what I mean? The perception I have of myself is that I'm... That's all it is. Some weeks I'm Jordan that goes on stage and is like... And then some weeks I'm... And that's okay.
Yeah.
And maybe this week will be that.
I think you just be containing multitudes.
Yeah. I just be containing multitudes. One tiny little scared maggot who's shivering, and one absolutely babbling, relentless butterfly.
A huge
who is
wet ass.
Huh?
One huge wet ass.
That's one huge wet ass.
Well, we have been doing this for a year. 100 episodes. Pretty amazing.
It's not 100 episodes.
So I just wanted to...
You just made that up.
This token. I don't have anything.
Do you have your little frog? Little wooden frog?
Yeah, I got something for you.
Birthday party was crazy. So weird when they first start and there's 3 people and you're like, I swear people are coming, and then you're like, but are they? Brutal. But it was good.
Okay, seeing as we've done this
Oh, that's a nice one.
seeing as we've done this podcast now for 1 year, for our 100th episode, I wanted to give you this frog.
I know that you're not giving it to me, but it is beautiful. Oh! Let me see that thing. Let me show them that thing. This frog is sick, Harry.
Yeah.
Harry's got a frog collection. This is a good one.
It's from Indonesia.
This way?
Yeah.
That's
so nice.
sick. The lead up?
I know.
Wow. It feels like you're blowing somebody else's chords. Like you took out somebody's chords and
Yeah.
are blowing them for it. That's sick.
This is an Acme siren
Why do people do that with the hand behind it?
to focus the camera.
People are
to
like-
help the camera focus.
Have you seen those videos?
Yeah, the
where they're like, I'm
Face
unpacking.
wash. Yeah.
Yeah, the face wash. Why do
You
they
go
do
like
that?
this. It's to help the camera focus on a bigger plane. Because it's harder for a camera to focus on like one little
Oh, so it
thing. So they
gets
put
it.
a flat.
Showing Indonesian frog, made by small boy who now has no hands from overwork.
Anything else?
I'm on tour all year. Go buy some tickets.
Can you talk about the special?
The taping?
Like when it...
Oh yeah, special. I'm hopefully it's going to be out this fall in September. We hope. I think I'm allowed to say that. I'm not sure. It's gonna be sick. It already looks really cool. Got to do a few more edits but the first draft is already I'm really happy with it, and I'm never happy with anything, and it makes me laugh while I'm watching it, which is huge. It's really cool. I'm really proud of myself. I'm really proud of myself for not binge eating before it, so I don't look that fat. That's huge. That's like the biggest accomplishment I've ever done. Before JFL, I got so fat. Before everything, I would just my anxiety, and this one, I managed to not.
I'm really proud of you.
Isn't that crazy?
Not for that. I'm proud.
Okay, for my fellow fatties out there, you know how hard that is. The girls before their weddings who don't eat, I'm like, I guess wedding is different, but I'm always, anyway, but thank you. I'm proud of myself, I really am. It feels, I really like it, and I got everything I could possibly want in it, and now I just get to edit it down.
Great.
Like, I haven't watched it and been like, I forgot this, which is crazy. And the whole team came through.
Good. Okay. Bye.
Bye.